What happens when you combine the pawns from Rimworld and third-person survival crafting? Well, you get a fun bit of gameplay, and the game is called Aska. Welcome everyone, StealthyShiroean here, and today I'm taking another first look from Steam Next Fest. Aska is developed by Sand Sailor Studio and published by Thunderful Publishing. And while my daily streak was broken over the weekend, I still covered several other games from the event. Check my playlist out for the rest of the videos, but not before seeing what Aska is all about. I think any would be forgiven if they took one look at Aska and thought that it was just another survival crafting game from the visuals alone. The character creator leaves a lot to be desired, and the character models in general are, again, just okay. Things don't necessarily look bad, but they aren't going to be winning any awards in the visuals department. Overall, the graphics felt like something that was made maybe 10 years ago, and not in a good way like other games that use nostalgia to sell the game. However, I really liked all the game's little details. Equipped tools and weapons and bigger inventory items show up on the player character, structures going up in stages simulating the process of building, the trees or stones breaking into smaller parts that can actually be interacted with, and even down to just the villagers waving a hello as they pass by the player. It's all these things that helped me keep immersed in the game, and I appreciated these subtle visual additions. As for the story, it's a survival crafting game. Do you really expect one? Okay, so maybe there are a few exceptions in the genre, but this isn't one of them. It starts with a cutscene of a bunch of Vikings in a boat sailing to a new land because the gods destroyed their homeland due to human hubris. The boat gets rocked by a giant, and that's it. You wake up on the shore and then start doing your thing. If there's any more to the story than that, then it wasn't made apparent, or the devs are holding it back for a full release. The gameplay is the most intriguing thing about Aska, and I think it makes the game well worth playing despite any potential flaws it does have. At the start, it feels like any other survival crafting game. You need to gather basic resources such as sticks, stones, and plant fiber, then use these things to craft primitive tools and weapons. Gathering resources takes a lot of time and does feel a bit grindy, but I'd say that comes with the territory of the genre. There are skills that you level up for associated tasks like woodcutting or gathering, which makes your character a bit faster and efficient. However, getting villagers to help really streamlines the process that usually bogs down other survival crafting games. After building a special structure known as the Eye of Odin, you could recruit new villagers by offering Jotun blood. Each villager can be assigned to different workstations, and you can adjust the work schedule similar to Rimworld. And, as in Rimworld, all the villagers have different traits and quirks that make them more attuned to specific skills, or certain things might affect their mood or sleeping and eating habits. For instance, 2 of my villagers were basically night owls and work better at night, so I changed their schedules for them to take advantage of that buff. Each villager also has their own skills that can make them a better choice for certain jobs, but they could also hone their skills by working at a task just like the player can. Obviously, where Aska differs from its inspiration is that instead of an observer guiding the pawns, you basically play as one of them. It's neat to see with a different perspective as I wandered the village I created, along with seeing the villagers walking around and working. And by working, I mean I had them picking up all the stuff I left lying on the ground and gathering food for me, so I didn't need to worry about that. I guess they were also gathering food for the other villagers, but whatever, minor details. As mentioned, I like the stages to the buildings when constructing them, along with the add-ons or upgrades that many structures had. The building reminded me a bit of Life is Feudal without the unnecessarily long grind. You have to level the ground and collect resources for each stage, watching the structure go up in parts. Many of them have add-ons that you can add on and give the structure additional uses. Completing each structure really helped create a strong sense of satisfaction for me, even in my poorly laid out village. But Aska isn't all gathering and building, because what's a survival crafting game without a little combat? The combat here was alright though, and not anything too special, at least from what little I saw. Once again though, I did like how the villagers all rallied together to defend the villages and their homes. While I wasn't able to do this, the idea of gathering together your best fighters and going out into the world to defeat a boss or fight against a horde attacking the village did sound really cool and seems like something the developers intend. Apparently, the dark forces of the world get more active in the winter according to the Steam page. I only played long enough to get to summer, but yes, there are seasons. To be honest, I didn't notice much change, but I'm assuming this might have an effect on plants you can grow, or maybe how much water you can collect in the rain collector. Temperature was also tracked, so villagers might need to be near fires in the village to stay warm, that kind of thing. Oh, and one last point, but there is multiplayer as well, and it worked flawlessly. So many times my wife and I would like to play a survival crafting game we own, and it would require us to set up our own server, do port forwarding, etc, etc. So we always appreciate it when the process is as easy as clicking a join button. Before I jump into my final thoughts, please consider giving this video a like if you enjoyed it, as that helps me out greatly with the YouTube algorithm gods. Overall, I put in just over 4 hours with the demo, which tells me there's a good gameplay loop here, and plenty of reasons to make a player want to continue playing to get to that next thing. But it is grindy, and I get that it won't be for everyone. However, if you wanted to see some change in the survival crafting genre, then I think this one is worth a look. Some things I'd suggest to the devs is, well, a bit of a nitpick and doesn't affect gameplay directly, but maybe zest up the character creator and have villagers be a bit more visually consistent. Like the first dude I got had a blonde beard, but brown hair and mustache. It just looks silly. I think a bit more information about the levels would be nice. What do the stars mean? When leveling up, is it solely just things get better, such as more damage with weapons or tools? How much better? And with the various tasks to complete for the gods, what's the point? Just direction for players who need it? Is there any other reason to follow them? For story? Rewards? I actually forgot about these after a while and stopped checking my journal to see if I was ticking any of these tasks off. If it's important, then maybe more spotlight should be placed on it. Basically, I think some more information for the player would be nice. Also, trying to move the crosshair over the highlighted area was sometimes a bit of a challenge when the blueprint area might be kind of thin. A lot of the time you'd access the workers pit menu instead of interacting with the upgrade you were trying to build. For any who played the demo, then let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if not, then let me know if it looks like something you'd be interested in, or if you have any other questions. Aska releases almost at the end of Next Fest with an early access release date on June 21st, and a tentative full release in 2025. I may have missed a day with Next Fest, but I still do have one more demo to cover, which is a really unique looking game, so be sure to check it out tomorrow. I hope this video helped you in some small way, and if it did, then please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, or whatever it is you feel like doing. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.